pattern throughout my whole life. And this is something that happened, you know, in the tribe that was shown to me, is that I never had a voice, I never had a backbone. I wasn't, and even in my past, I wasn't able to stand up for myself in the proper ways. You feel what I'm saying? Because even though, you know, people that fight, you know, that's not standing up for yourself. You feel what I'm saying? You fight, you beating people up or whatever. That's not truly standing up for yourself. Truly what's standing up for yourself is being able to have that voice and speaking and being able to say, you know what I mean, the things that you want to say. Maybe you disagree with something. Maybe you're not for this, you're not for that. Whatever it may be, standing up for yourself is speaking the truth and speaking what's right. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, you know. And that's something that I wasn't, you know, wasn't capable of doing or wasn't able to do in those moments because of, you know, just weak points. You know what I'm saying? Weak points in my life, you know. And I go back and I talk about this, not to reminisce on the past, not to, you know, bring up, you know, things that, you know, have already been, you know, buried, things that I've already dealt with. But it's also, it's really something to be brought up to reflect, because this moment is a time of reflect. And when I reflect on my behavior, when I reflect on things that I have done, you know, in the past, even from yesterday, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I'm not flawless in these moments. I'm growing through my traumas, you know, things that I have, you know, attached myself to, you know, ideas, thoughts that I have attached myself to. You got to understand that thoughts are like seeds, and when you give it enough energy, when you give it enough water, you start to water those thoughts, you start to water those things. That stuff right there, that's when it starts to become more and more and more. You feel what I'm saying? Then it starts to grow, and then as soon as the tree starts to grow, it will start to sprout. And when it starts to sprout, you know, you'll get fruit, you know. So you have to understand that these ideas, these thoughts that we cater to, these thoughts that we subscribe to and that we give energy to, these things take form, shape, and place in our life, you know. And if they're not good thoughts, then you're going to reap what you sow with these thoughts, you know. So for me, man, I've been through it, man. I've been through it, and I commend all of those who have had a voice, who spoke up to say certain things, you know, whatever that may be, to speak up and to say what was on their mind, and to, you know, have a voice and to never have their tongue held, you know what I'm saying? Because it's very easy, like to your parents. You ever been, you know, mistreated by your parents, and then like you know what I'm saying, you're supposed to speak up to your parents, but you never did, you know what I'm saying? And then you think about that thing, you know, like, damn, you know, I mean, I went through this, I went through that with my parent, but I never even, you know, said what was on my mind. I was never able to stand up. You know, those are the type of things that we need to do. And, you know, it's all a growing process. You feel what I'm saying? Like, the more you go through that, or the more that you, you know, reflect on those times, is it's better for you, because then you're able to, you know, collect and take the data. So if you're ever in any type of those situations again, you know what to do, you know. And I'm really big on not making the same mistake twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, you know, however many times I make the mistake. Is really about doing better and making sure that you're able to overcome any challenges, any trials, any tribulations, to be able to, you know, just overcome, man. That's what it's about. It's really about overcoming. It's really about, you know, really foreseeing things before they happen, and then being able to speak upon them, and really being able to, you know, address certain things. Peace to everyone that's coming in the room. Peace to y'all. So for me, that was a challenge for me. It was always a challenge to speak my mind. It was always a challenge to say how I feel to who I feel towards. You feel what I'm saying? Whether that be good or bad, whatever it may be, you know, speaking upon how I feel. That was a very big challenge for me, you know. And you know, it was a lot easier for me to just go fight, or it was a lot easier for me to just not talk and just do the action. But that's not going to get you where you want to go all the time. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to know when to not use the fists, and speak up. You know, sometimes you got to know, you know, you got to know when to speak up, you know. And that's a very important thing, that I have learned, you know, as I'm reflecting on my experiences. I don't beat myself up over my experiences. I don't look at myself any type of way for my experiences, because I know that people change. You know what I'm saying? And to say that you are who you are today, or who you are today was who you were yesterday, that's not true, because we all evolve and we all grow, you know. And that's the glory, and that's the beauty of, you know, that's the beauty of life. That's the beauty of, you know, going through the experiences, is the fact that you get to grow. The beauty of it is that you get to grow, that you get to evolve, that you do get to expand. You know what I mean? That you're not the same person. Absolutely, totally evolving. Yes, absolutely. Say how you feel, regardless of how others feel. You know what I'm saying? And that's a struggle that I've always dealt with. You know what I'm saying? Being at the tribe, being a part of, CarbonNation or whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things I didn't agree with. Much like people in the military, I didn't find my voice to speak because I was like, going along with it, or much like being in a tribe, it's kind of like being in a gang. So when you in a gang, you gotta ride, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? It's all about showing your loyalty and being like this to that to somebody that you look up to. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, that's where I was coming from, and that's what I was doing. Is that I looked up to a NatureBoy. I looked up to that person who I thought was this, who I thought was that, who was a character. That I thought that I wanted to be like, you know what I'm saying? And that's something that, was something that I saw myself as. I was like, yo, I could really be like her. I wanted to be just like, rather than me being me, rather than me tapping into me and loving me for who I am, you know what I'm saying? Because I was confused, because I was going through just the confusion of life, you know what I'm saying? I'm not believing in Christianity or religion, not believing in society. I was saying, fuck the government. I was like, I don't feel like I want to work. College is bullshit. School is bullshit. The people in my life and the friends that I had were bullshit. I was so confused in my mind, that I was very vulnerable in a state of not knowing which direction to go in. So when I found the tribe, when I found NatureBoy, when I found, all of the teachers and teachings that I came across, it was coming from a confused state, and it wasn't coming from a level-headed mind state. And as we know, the devil is the art of confusion. So when you're confused in a confused state, it's very easy for you to be manipulated. That's why young people, young people, we don't know what's going on. We're just trying to, figure life out. And when you're trying to figure life out, there's people that can come in and sound real cool. They sound real good. They may influence you. And I'm not just talking to this one specific being. I'm talking to like anybody that comes in your life influencing you in the wrong direction. It's very easy to get caught up in a wave. When information and knowledge is added to that sounds good, it's very easy to manipulate young people especially. So for me, coming from a background in a space where I was not I was not in a space where my mind was I could say sane. You know what I'm saying? I was definitely unstable emotionally, mentally, all of that. You know what I'm saying? I was a wreck. I was close to being in jail. I was either close to being in jail or dead or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like I was close to a lot of things that would have led me in the wrong direction. And it was just like, for me, there was like no way out. And when I found, hey, let's move to the tropics, let's go, go be in nature and all that, that right there was an escape, you know what I mean? But it really was an escape for me to escape my problems. It was a way for me to escape the things that I, had guilted myself for, things that I did in my past that I was not so proud of, all the drugs that I had did, all the things I did while I was on the drugs. My actions alone was something that I felt guilty for, and that's something that I could not own up to, you know what I'm saying? And because I couldn't own up to this, it left me in a space where I was very vulnerable mentally, because I was just saying fuck the world, you know what I'm saying? And I want to detach and leave, you know what I'm saying, by any means necessary. So being that happened, someone popped up in my life, you know what I'm saying? And when they popped up in my life, and when I went there and I look back and I reflect on my experiences there, really what that showed me was all of my demons. You feel what I'm saying? I was battling a lot of my shit. A lot of the stuff that I went through there was all of my demons, all of my negative stuff that got brought up, that got surfaced. You understand me? Things that I was running from surfaced. And that's the thing you have to realize, is that you cannot escape, you cannot run, no matter where you go, there you are. You know what I'm saying? So you have to go through your experiences. You have to accept, you have to take responsibility for things that you've gone through in order for you to move forward. You cannot just bury those things in the back of your subconscious mind and expect to move forward with life. That's not how it works, because those things are going to guilt trip you. Those are the things that you aren't able to accept about yourself, the things that you aren't able to accept and then grow past, you know what I'm saying, and be able to weed out. Because I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like, I had a sick mind, you see what I'm saying, still coming out of my sick mind, you feel what I'm saying? So these things were things that I was not dealing with. And when you don't deal with these things, it starts to plague you. You know what I'm saying? It starts to build up pressure. And when you build up pressure, it starts to explode. It's going to surface, So that's really the things that, you know, I was going through, and the things that I never really you know, that I never really talked about, that I never expressed, that I was just, you know, going through, which now I'm dealing with now, of course, you know, when it comes to, you know, certain things that I dealt with in my family household, certain things I dealt with you know, people and peers that I was in my society and in my environment that I grew up in, you know, a lot of things that I just was suppressing that now I'm able to talk about. Now I'm able to, you know, ask questions and get clarity and understand, you know. And that's really what it comes down to, is getting clarity, understanding, and overcoming, and being able to accept, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, why did I do this? Oh, I know why I did this, because you know what I'm saying? And, you know, those are the things that you have to understand. And so me being there in the tribe, when I look at it, it was really just, you know, a really toxic cesspool of people who have not overcome, you know, the things that they have run from, you know what I'm saying? Very confused people. And I say this not directing it towards, you know, anybody specific. I'm just speaking from my own experience, and I'm speaking directly towards, you know, me as an individual who was, you know, had a toxic mind state, who was, you know, very hurt, who was not, was very confused and not understanding why I am the way I am, and why I think the way I think, and why I do the things that I do, you know. And when you don't have an understanding of these things, that's where you become very, very vulnerable, very, very susceptible to people that want to infiltrate and utilize you, much like people in the military. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people that go to the military are hurt people, or people that just don't really have much of a feeling, you know what I mean, because of traumas or things that they've went through, you know, in their personal life, you know. So this is exactly, these are the perfect candidates. These are the perfect people, targets that you can utilize to create a tribe, an army. You know, herd people are very susceptible to the manipulation of others who want to, you know, control them. You understand me? And I'm just talking to y'all about this because I want y'all to peep game and understand how manipulation works, so if it ever comes your way, you know how to overcome and to deal. You know what I'm saying? And some people that are manipulating don't even realize they're manipulating, because even those people that are manipulating are stemming and coming from their own hurt, traumas, and things that they've gone through. You feel what I'm saying? Most people that manipulate other people are manipulating because they don't know how to deal with their own traumas and their own things that they've gone through. You know what I'm saying? So they resort to manipulation because they can't seem to, you know, make things happen or get what they want in their reality. So they have to manipulate those to get what they need in their reality in order for things to work. You know what I'm saying? And when I say manipulation, I'm not talking about positive manipulation. I'm talking about negative manipulation, things that are negative, you know. And we have to talk about this stuff. We have to, you know, be understanding. And I don't want anyone to beat themselves up off anything that you've done in your past or anything that you've gone through as a trauma. I do not want you to beat yourself up. I want you to stand strong, and I want you to stand firm, and I want you to be able to, you know, go forward, have a voice, speak your truth. You know what I'm saying? That's why I commend Velvet for what she's doing. You know what I'm saying? And her out there, you know, shouts out to her. I know she's speaking her truth. I know she's talking, you know, what she needs to talk, and, you know, get it out. You feel what I'm saying? And, you know, for me being there for 3 years, you know, really reflecting, you know what I'm saying? Because I've just come out of that. And now that I'm doing this fast, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing this fast, and this fast is purging myself of demons. This fast is purging myself of, you know, spirits, negative spirits. This is a 9-day fast that I'm on. And as I'm on this fast, I'm realizing, you know, certain things, coming into understandings, coming into certain awakenings, purging myself from, you know, all kinds of toxic thoughts, toxic ways of living, a lot of toxicity that I have, you know, within me that's just coming out, it's seeping out. That's what happens when you're on a detox. When you're on a detox, your face starts to, you know, cleanse. You know, your pores will start to seep out all this nasty stuff. Starts to come out through your nose. It starts to come out through your, you know, all holes. You feel what I'm saying? It starts to come out. And this is really the vibration that we need to be on in order for us to purify ourselves and be able to come into into a pure state. You feel what I'm saying? Are you gonna tell the truth about the part you played in CarbonNation? And be accountable? Of course. You know what I'm saying? I take part in all of the things, and I have talked about it. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about it. CarbonNation is falling, is if you look at my old videos, I did talk about the things that I did as far as you know, in CarbonNation, and the things that I have done. You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely gonna, you know, be speaking upon those right now. But I've definitely taken accountable for that. CarbonNation is falling. If you look at my videos, and they're still on my page actually, if you look at my videos, I definitely will take accountable for a lot of the things I did. I was not a good person when in that tribe, and me being able to stand up, I was not good. Like the night that Velvet was taken, and she was beaten, her, everything that happened in those moments, I was very drunk, I was very intoxicated in that moment, and my accountability for that is that I should have stood up and I should have did something. Anytime that there was ever any violence going on when it came to Velvet specifically, which there was only 2 occasions that I really saw. The other ones were held in private, so a lot of what he did was in the background. But the things that were in the sight's eye, things that I could have definitely stood up for, I didn't in those moments. And I do apologize to Velvet, and I apologize for myself, because that was the moments where I could have stood up, but I didn't stand up. And that's not something that's just happened in CarbonNation. That's something I've seen before, in my past, from where I come from. So that's how I know it's just something that had followed me, where I was on this so-called spiritual journey. But it's something that had followed me. So I've dealt with that, and I think that all the men there, everyone there, should have stood up, should have said something, should have been accountable for that. But in those moments, we definitely weren't, and I do take accountability for that. I definitely take accountability for that. I've addressed the fact that he's sleeping with men and women and speeding at sea. Now, I don't know about the men part. A lot of the things that were said in Sybil's book, I don't know about any of that. I'm not going to speak on what I don't know upon. As for me personally, I was not slept with, and none of that stuff happened to me. So I don't know if that's really going on, and I'm not going to spread rumors out there as if that was the case or not. There's a lot of things that were even said by Velvet that I had no clue on, things that were spoken in private. So I can only imagine the other things that were happening in private. Like I said, a lot of things that did happen, even amongst the tribe, were not right out in front. There was things that was said that Shaka said that I had no idea, that was said. You feel what I'm saying? So we can act like what it is, but that's really what it is. And keep it real. I'm keeping it 100. When you're in a tribe, and this is what you gotta understand, when you're in a tribe and you're in an organization, you don't tell everything to everybody, because as you know, when you do have people, in the tribe, there's levels. It's like hierarchy. That's what it was like. So there was hierarchy, and there were people that you trusted and people that you didn't trust. That's how it is anywhere. When you're in a group, there's always, in a group of people, you always have friends that you trust more than others in the group that you hang out with. So you can have a group of friends, maybe 12, 13 of y'all, and y'all hang out. And there's probably going to be people out of that 12 or 15 people that you have, there's going to be individual people that you trust more than other people that you're going to tell things to that you won't tell everybody in that group with. You feel what I'm saying? And that's exactly what it's like, a part of the group. You know what I'm saying? So I was not involved in a lot of things. I was actually the one that was most out of tune with the group, and that was stated clearly several times because of a lot of the things that I went through. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say that. Right. CarbonNation following. This person's saying some real stuff. He probably just, don't know what it's like. If you don't know what it's like there either, then you're only speculating, and you're only, coming from your own standpoint. So I know you want justice, and I understand that justice definitely needs to be served. I definitely understand that, period. Absolutely. I'm not saying that, I believe in karma. I believe that you reap what you sow, and I believe that everything, there's going to be an equal opposite reaction for everything that you do. So if you do something negative, then guess what? Something's going to come back to you. You feel what I'm saying? So I do, understand where CarbonNation's fallings come from, as far as, whoever the person behind the screen is definitely hurt. Definitely someone that wants to seek some justice, definitely wants something, done, you know what I'm saying? And, that's all going to happen. You don't have to worry about that, you know what I'm saying? Because that has to happen, you feel what I'm saying? That's the cost of, putting out that kind of energy. When you put that kind of energy out, it's going to have to come back to you. So back to what I was saying, as far as, the accountability and the things that I had done. And, the things that, I take accountability for it. Definitely those moments where I could have spoken up, where we were asked, and there were several times where we were asked, don't get it twisted. There were several times when asked, do you have any discrepancies with anything that's going on? This, a lot of people don't realize either, is that, there's always a point, you know what I'm saying? Even me and Rambo had talked about this one time, where there's a point when you're in the group where, you're always asked, like, is there anyone that disagrees? Is there any discrepancies? You know what I'm saying? And no one ever speaks up, because when you're in a group, it's very easy to be influenced by those others when everyone's shaking their head, and you get into the yes man attitude, and you just shaking your head. Even if you disagree because everyone else is agreeing, you agree too, you know what I'm saying? And that's generally what it's like in society. That's generally like what it's like in the household, you know what I'm saying? This is not something that's just new to this tribe, cult, whatever you want to call it. It's not just new to this. This is something that happens in your everyday life, you know what I'm saying? So really voicing your opinion and speaking up. Really, that's a really important thing. That's the voice that I didn't have. That's the voice that I was not, expressing. I do commend Velvet for speaking up because she has such a strong voice. She's such a powerful figure, and she's someone that will not take, bullshit. She ain't gonna take bullshit, and she gonna definitely speak her mind. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what we need to get into is speaking our mind, being able to speak up, and being able to gain your own power. Your own power is you being able to, speak your truth. You know what I mean? Speak your truth. Speak your discrepancies. If you don't agree with something, don't agree with something or don't go along with it just because someone says something or it sounds good or people are all shaking their head. That's a stupid nigga mistake. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. And I can definitely say that that was me. You know what I'm saying? That's not the totality of me, and I don't care who says what on this live. I'm not going to look in these comments and be like, oh, that's who I am. That's going to be who I am for the rest of my life. No, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I was, that I experienced, and that's something that, I can know about myself, that I have a tendency to go along with, you know what I mean, and do the yes man thing when other people are yes men, and because, it's just, it's what everyone else wants to do. You know what I'm saying? And I could say for me, because of the knowledge and because of how I looked up to this person, that's really what made me like, all right, yeah, you know what I mean, this is something I agree with, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The way that, Mama Dia thing went down and such like that, I can definitely speak on that, and I could definitely say for me, I hold myself accountable because, it's not right, you know what I'm saying, how things went down with Mama Dia, because Mama Dia definitely was someone that, was dear to me. She was such sweet, you know what I'm saying, when she first came there, because I was there when she first, showed up, you know what I'm saying. No one else was really there. It was just me and NatureBoy at that time, and she was there, and she was so sweet, you know what I'm saying. She was so sweet. She had medication and such like that, and at that point in time, it was said like, she didn't want to take it. She really didn't want to take the medication or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? We're like, all right, cool. But there was no extensive research or extensive questions asked about her health. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the thing that I wish I could have done, is asked more about, the health and the state of her. You know what I'm saying? Because if someone's on medication and they're coming to the tribe, but they say they don't want to take the medication, you should really, ask further questions, because, that person is in your life now. And that person, it's their life, you feel what I'm saying? But it's also your life. So if someone comes into your reality, if someone comes into your personal, space and says, I don't want to take medication or whatever, you should be like, okay, well, why don't you want to take this medication? Is there a reason? And even on top of that, what are your conditions? You know what I mean? What's going on? Let's get the details behind, why, you know what I'm saying, and what you're even taking the medication for, before you just make a decision and you're in my personal space, you know what I'm saying, because this could be something that could be costly down the road, you know what I'm saying. And if I had done my own due diligence, and if I had been more attentive and more aware, and more paying attention to the details, I would have asked those questions, and I definitely would have had a voice and had spoken up, you know what I'm saying. But I didn't, and that's something right there that I hold myself accountable for, because, I definitely should have, spoken up in those moments. Someone asks, is Eligio my higher self? No, absolutely not. I think that you are your higher self. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely are your higher self. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. Let another person tell you that they're your higher self. You know what I'm saying? I disagree with that wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying?
What up? What up?
Peace. Hey, what's good?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Man, I'm doing well. I'm just so happy to see you. I'm so happy that you speaking out. And I had to say something too, because I had left it alone. You know what happened with me, and that I was a person that spoke out. And when you in a group like that, what people don't understand, and first of all, we're doing work for y'all. All of y'all talking junk, CarbonNation, we were the Ethereans then. Because remember, we changed names a few times. We was doing the work for y'all. So while y'all sitting up and judging us, every person out there and every issue that was out there, we all have it as a collective people. We have people getting snatched away from their kids, people being abused, molested, substance abuse, being exposed to sex too early, being raped, all that stuff that was out there, abandonment issues, fatherlessness, motherlessness, all of that was out there. And that is the representation of every human being that's on this planet.
Word.
And we was doing the work for y'all. So everybody that's on here that's judging, you didn't run out to the tropics. You didn't do any hard work. Because believe it or not, everybody looking at us a certain way, but we leveled up. We leveled up. We leveled up by going through that situation. So what everybody need to be doing is listening. That whole thing with Velvet has to do with the sisterhood. Because there's plenty of women out here that connect with a person that has resources and look a certain way and run around with a bunch of different women. It's people doing that right here in Babylon. And instead of them going to get a bill with a certain man, they all go for the same dude and get ran around with him. That happens right here in Babylon. So while you sitting there judging, why did those women allow that stuff to happen to other women? It ain't on them. We can only do so much. Those women were going along with it. So it's a lesson to the sisterhood. Look out for your sister. You shouldn't let your sister be abused. You shouldn't let that happen to nobody. You see what I'm saying? And so Eligio was made by Babylon. That entity was made by Babylon. That is a representation of what's going on. People leaving their children, women running their men out the house. We don't have any families. Our families are destroyed. So while y'all running y'all mouth, and I'm not chastising nobody, but I would like people to do more listening and not so much judging, because you wasn't out there and you didn't we put our lives on the line. Because we all sick and fucked up out here. That's what y'all don't understand. And right now we got a winter solstice going on, and that's why all this stuff is going out. It's not about attacking one person. We're attacking all of this stuff. And this needs to stop across the board. This needs to stop across the board. We were in the tribe. When you're in the tribe, you rolling with the tribe, you rolling with what everybody do. When something was said, I would speak out for it. We did speak out for it, but then everybody would gang up on you. That's what was going on.
Absolutely.
That was what's going on. And people wonder, like, well, why was y'all out there? Why was y'all out there? Because this shit is fucked up in Babylon. That's why we was out there. Because it's jacked up. We've been man, it's so much stuff. And I could get into a whole thing and the magic and the witchcraft and all the stuff that's going on this plane of existence. And I felt it when I came back from Costa Rica. I felt pure. And what Israel is saying is true. What was going on is they think we out there hanging out with each other all the time. We was out doing our own thing. We in a big old jungle. Everybody out there doing their own thing. We remember when we was at the waterfall. People was all doing their own thing. Everybody wasn't in one area, one spot. And the stuff that was going on with the women, with him individually, they was in their own tent. They had their own privacy.
Right. So that's why, and I want to say something. I want to say something about someone said, but it was but it was my choice, and that's what I want to say. Like, if y'all, and that's what I'm saying for all y'all who know and has been and seen my lives, like I've talked about this numerous of times, and me owning up to my experiences. I'm not pointing the finger at nobody. I'm not sitting here saying this and that, slander and throwing shade at people's name. All I'm doing is bringing awareness to the power of self and being able to see things when they happen. All of us, coming out of these states and coming out of these environments that we're coming into, trying to seek righteousness and trying to reach the spiritual state. We're coming from, like you said, broken homes, broken families. You feel what I'm saying? So excuse anybody if they're coming out and they're looking kind of funny, or they're looking kind of, walking with a limp because they're trying to figure themselves out. You understand me? It is going to look kind of, it is going to look what it's going to look like, because we're coming out of broken homes. We're coming out of broken societies. And this is not perfect. You cannot look and say that everything is perfect and that we're at the state that we should be in. No, you know what I'm saying? This is not what it looks like. Much like a person who is going through their weight loss and they're coming back to natural health and they're getting rid of, all that excess fat. Yeah, you're going to look kind of crazy for a second. You understand me? So you gotta excuse me personally, because I know that a lot of y'all, in this chat or whatever, are coming at me in some type of way. Excuse me for looking kind of crazy and for coming out of this. You feel what I'm saying? The way that I'm coming out of it, but at the end of the day, I'm coming out of it and I am taking responsibility. I do take accountability for everything that happened. Yes, I chose to be there. Yes, I chose to be a yes man. Yes, I chose to, go along with things when I could have stood up and said what I wanted to say, but I didn't say what I wanted to say. I did all that, and I am admitting to all that. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. I don't even know why. Like, and I said that in previous videos before. Right now, like I said, winter solstice, day 8 of my fast, and this is a moment of reflection. So right now, what I'm doing in this moment as I'm fasting is to reflect on my experiences, to reflect on the things that I had did, and then be able to take accountability and to move forward, because we're not going to dwell in the past and act like this is going to be the history or the fucking, you know, prelude to my whole entire life. This is just a moment in time, and I'm here just talking about the time and the experiences that I, in order for y'all to take the message. You can really just grasp what I'm saying behind all your personal hurt feelings and everything that's going on. If you can really just take the message, you could probably learn something, like my brother Rashad just said. You feel what I'm saying? It's not to throw shade. It's not to throw shade. It's not to attack. It's not a hit on nobody. Really what it is, it's a hit on yourself, because y'all need to be looking in your individual lives, and maybe you can learn, like, hey, maybe he'll do this. Yo, I kind of went through something similar. Maybe you can, like, you know, from that experience alone, you can be like, oh shit, he went through this. You know what I mean? I went through this. This is cool, because now I can relate to the brother, and now I can find some salvation within myself to be able to reconcile within my own situations and my own shortcomings, and then be able to forgive myself, take accountability, forgive, and move forward.
You got it. You got it. You got it, Israel. You got it. That's exactly what it is. And that's why, and even somebody on here was saying, oh, why everybody look unhealthy? Look unhealthy out there. Whatever is going on in your spirit internally is going to reflect outside. Mm-hmm. And really, to be honest with you, a lot of people are judging the situation, but a lot of y'all are unhealthy too, spiritually too. I'm not saying the people that's on here, but I'm just saying in general, we are unhealthy. Look at what's been done to us from the top to the bottom. From the top to the bottom, look how this country was founded. It was founded on a lot of death and destruction. So now we're 400 years later, up in here, and look, last election we kind of did that last election. Now we got another election just passed, and now the same energy is hitting us again, because it's time for another change. Believe it or not, all this stuff, y'all looking at a certain way, but the Most High is moving through this situation and through a lot of situations that other people, because a lot of people have moved out the country. A lot of people have went out to the tropics, went into a tropical environment to renew themselves. Because that's what Dr. Sebi was doing. He was bringing people out to the tropics. He was letting them heal themselves. Because when I was out there, you know how it is when we out there. So it was a combination of everything that was going on, plus the knowledge. But if everybody pay attention to the knowledge, that individual wasn't doing his knowledge that he was speaking. A lot of the knowledge that he said, you're a reflection of me, and you don't do a lot of things that he was saying, that individual was not doing the things that they said. So even with the knowledge, if you apply the knowledge to your life, you'll realize when somebody is wrong. And everybody got to go through their steps.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, yo. That's real, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, and for all y'all who don't know, this is Brother Rashad. He was there at the beginning of my journey when it was Men.I at you know, that point in time.
With
Yaya and all them, yeah. So he was there, you know what I'm saying, with BP as well, you know what I'm saying. So he was there. He knows, you know what I'm saying, as far as, you know, certain things that we went through, because what it is now is not what it was before.
Oh God, it's not.
And you know, and it's just to show, you know what I'm saying, it's just to show that, you know, for me, it's just to show myself, you know, because I was there for so long, you feel what I'm saying? I seen the transitions, and there were so many times where I could have said something, where I could have spoke out, and someone just said something being ruled. But listen, you don't understand, when people have got shit going on in their mind, you know what I'm saying, mind you, you're dealing with yourself.
They don't know what you've been through, Israel. They don't know what you've been through, bro. You done been through a lot. They don't know what you've been through, just like y'all don't know what I've been through. A soft butt ain't gonna never learn that. People with silver spoons in their mouth, they don't understand what it is. Right. What it is when you losing a mama, when you losing a daddy, when you losing parents, when you losing sisters and brothers and stuff, people that's blood related to you. When things are happening in your family that you don't understand, it takes a strong. You gotta go through it. Not to cut you off, but come on, they don't know what you've been through.
That's real, and that's why I'm saying I don't hold myself to any certain type of way. I just address things in the moment, because when I see people say certain things, to me it's like you just said, you don't know, you know, what someone's gone through. So I can never even judge someone in a certain situation. Like the person that just said what they just said, I'm sure I could look into your life right now, and I could blow that shit up all over the media and make you look some type of way. But because I don't know through, I don't know your personal experiences. Just me judging you based off that is not how you want to make judgment upon people. And for me personally, that's how I look. That's how I was looking at a lot of things. Even when it came to Alicia or NatureBoy at that time, I'm not judging him based off what he's doing. Even what he's doing right now is from a lot of trauma, a lot of things he's not dealing with, and I because of my experiences and what I've gone through and the things that I haven't dealt, it results in the same. One thing we have to understand when we're dealing with psychology is that with human behavior, always wield the same result, no matter if it's a different situation. When you're going through someone, or when we're going through something, or you're dealing with traumas, or when you're dealing with things that you're not haven't dealt with in your mind, we can see by human behavior that it always wields the same results. You can see the same characteristics and the same ways that people act and respond when people are hurt or when people haven't dealt with certain traumas in their life. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what we have to understand is we have to become self-recognizing when it comes to when someone's dealing with trauma or when you're going through your own trauma, and then be able to, deal with it as that, because in the Bible it says ye shall judge how ye shall be judged. You feel what I'm saying? So when you judge someone, that's how you gonna be judged. You feel what I'm saying? So when I make judgment upon people, I'm only make judgment upon people when I see that behavior and the interaction, but I also understand where things stem from, and I also judge based off what people have been through. So I'm not gonna make poor judgment on people. I'm not here to throw no shade. I'm not here to put a head out on nobody. What I'm doing is just speaking from my own experience, speaking from my own mind of things that I've went through, and I'm talking about. I want y'all to be very, in tune with the manipulation that can happen when you're a part of a group or organization in society. Like you just
It
said,
happens now. It
it
happens
happens.
now when people join fraternities and stuff like that, and they pull your
Military,
pants down and slap you in the butt, or you
military.
got to ride the goat or whatever. Even celebrities have to go through, and they join cults, and they have to do rituals and stuff like that. So y'all need to stop playing. Y'all need to stop playing, because really, be honest with you, going to the military. I was in the military. We had to go
Yeah,
to the basic training. Is a rites of passage. You got to go
right.
into you can be degraded. They call you a private. In the beginning of the situation, you'd be called a private. They call you shithead and all that stuff like that. That's in the military. They all do it. This is to control the soul and to skew the soul and put the soul into a seal to have it doing what you wanted to do, to control and change somebody's energy. But see, this is the thing. That's why we say cult. Cult is culture. A lot of people in cults. What is a gang? When you go in the gang, get jumped in. That's the same thing. You can't go against what the gang say. The gang say, "Hey, we're gonna go ride up on this dude and kill him." That's what we about to do. This is culture. So we have to learn. What we're learning right now is universal law. We're on universal law, which is the laws in the scriptures that's passed down from ages to ages. Universal law that's on. That's why we know that some of the things that's being done out there is not right. Because when I went out there, I thought we was going out there to be celibate. I thought we was going out there. I thought it was a totally different thing, because some of the knowledge that was put out there and some of the stuff that Yaya was putting out, because really what people got to understand is men are powerful. We're all powerful, but women validate men. And she was validating his message, but his message was a certain way. It keep changing because he using it for his own. But I'm gonna tell you what the Most High told me. The Most High told me that individual was a demon, and the demon would sit down here to test us the way that it's being tested. Because this had to happen. Because let me tell you something. Preaching and teaching is not working no more. You have to show people now. If people pay attention to every video and everything that's going on out there, you will understand what's going on in America.
Right.
Y'all looking at it the wrong way. I'm telling you, some of y'all looking at it the wrong way. It's not about teaching. It ain't gonna be no more teachers. There ain't gonna be no preachers. There ain't gonna be no more master teachers. The Most High is gonna come and show you now. You have to be shown. You want to change your diet, your asshole gonna fall out. You don't want to treat women right. We don't want to step up. You're not gonna be able to be with a woman, because women ain't hard checking for us now anyway, and they're being with each other because men became so toxic. So we have to change, and the women became toxic. So we all have to change. Don't
Absolutely.
judge not, ye should be judged. That's why Christ said that. That's why it was said. And one reason why I jumped on here, because I've been away from it for a long time, and I hate to go back into this, but when I'm hearing certain stuff that I heard Velvet said, I'm like, he's doing what now? I'm like, I cannot. It makes me cringe to hear some of the stuff that I'm hearing.
Right.
Like, come on now. Like, this shit gotta stop. And of course, Israel, he gonna come out and say something because he know we were out there with it, and we made the individual who the individual is. We made him hot. We made him who he is. He ain't doing that stuff by himself. So we have to speak out. I have a video on YouTube that somebody took off my thing and put it out there where I told about the polygamy and all that. You can't be up in a polygamous relationship and you gotta get along with one woman first. You have to deal with one woman first. All that polygamy, and really that's selfish right now. You know, that wasn't even the right way. That wasn't even the right thing. So I had that video out because we need to learn how to get along right now. We're in a bad situation. And everybody talking about what we gonna do for the nation, what we gonna do. What we gotta do is start loving each other. And by loving each other, don't treat people, stop treating people the way we treat. That's the law that Christ said. We did away with Hebrew law, the old Hebrew law where you gotta stone people and all that. It's love yourself, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Because what? That neighbor is a reflection of you.
Exactly. We gotta start treating. I appreciate that, Rashad. For real, you speaking some facts, yo. And I want everyone to take that, you know what I'm saying, too, because that right there is something that's very important that we have to start doing, is loving each other and treating each other with respect, yo. Like, for real. And, you know, like a lot of like what y'all saying in the room right now, like, yo, for real, like it comes down to like, you got to understand, you know, where it's coming from, and the space that it's coming from people that have had experience in certain things. You know what I'm saying? Experience gains wisdom. When you gain wisdom, you got to teach the wisdom, because the wisdom is going to help another person. You feel what I'm saying? So that's all we doing right here. We just spreading love. We spreading the light, because in the end, this is really what, like you said, is really what it is to be tested. We're here to be tested through trials and tribulations and dealing with manipulative characters or figures in our life that, you know, hold things over our head or try to make us seem like this or like that. It's manipulation 101 if you really think about it. And, you know, it's nothing that's new. Like you said, nothing new under the sun. Everything here that's happening right now has been happening for centuries, for years to come. It's all things that have been happening. We just have to peep it and then know how to get around it, know how to go through those instances, know how to go through those things, still coming out with some dignity and feeling good about yourself and not holding yourself down and making you feel like no one should ever be feeling miserable the whole entire life because they went through something that they went through. My nigga, that's horrible. And if you wish that upon someone, then fuck you, because that shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? You should never hold someone and try to make someone feel miserable for their entire life for things that they've been through in their past that they didn't know how to overcome in that time, or maybe things that they're coming into enlightenment now prior to or you know, beyond or past their experience after the fact. You understand me? So, you know, I really want all of y'all to lift and embrace yourself. And when you're dealing with these spiritual teachers out here, when you're dealing with people that are giving you knowledge, don't give all your energy and don't give all your power to the people, to the person. Give it to the people, give it to yourself. You feel what I'm saying? Don't be so focal pointed on, you know, one person. And someone had said something that we were waiting on hand and foot for this man, and we were treating him like the Messiah. We were treating him like the Most High. Yes, that's something that I did. Yes, that's something I did. That's much like someone that would view the president or look at the president and they go up to the president and they're treating the president and how they're treating the president. And you know what I mean? It's this stuff that we see all the time, whether it be the president, whether it be the Pope, whether it be your Sunday school teacher or your preacher or whatever. That's something that we see, whether it be the principal. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit ain't new. We see this shit all of the time. I don't know why we acting like it's brand new. It's just because it comes in a different form and it's labeled as a cult that we look at it the way that we look at it. And I want y'all to know, like, yeah, I did that shit, and yeah, that was a part of that shit, because that's how I was thinking that time. You feel what I'm saying? I was thinking like, oh, that's what it was like. Just like those people that are out there who did drugs and were like, yeah, that's how I was thinking at the time. I thought it was cool to do drugs. Like, we've all had thoughts and we've all had you know, ways of doing things that we don't do now that we look at and we like, wow, I was a fool, I was foolish or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm not gonna throw no shade or hold nothing against somebody that was thinking some type of way that they were thinking, and now they've come to a new evolutionary thought, you know what I'm saying, that brings them into a better state of consciousness and a better state of being. If you've overcome some type of trauma and some type of toxic thought or thinking that you had, you know, kudos to you. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to you, commend to you, because that's the salute. You feel what I'm saying? I give salute for anyone that's overcome trauma. I give salute to anyone that's overcome, you know, being manipulated or being treated a way that they didn't want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? And what's for you is what's for you. If that type of lifestyle is for you and that's the way you want to live, then all right, cool for you. I'm not here to negate or to tell anybody that way of living or that lifestyle isn't for them. You feel what I'm saying? If that's how you want to live, then let your knowledge lead you your wisdom. You feel what I'm saying? That's gonna bring you on the other side of whatever you're gonna go experience. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what
And
it
Israel,
is.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get off and let you finish your live up. But I'm gonna
Trust me.
tell y'all this. We was not treating him as a God. We were building with him. We were building with him. We saw that America was not, and y'all see it right now, is not gonna do. People don't even know what's going on. They're not
Right.
gonna do right. They're not gonna
Right.
do right in this country. So I'm not finna get into. They're not gonna do right. Y'all can vote for all these people on here. Probably know better. Y'all can vote for these people. Y'all can do what you do, but this country is never gonna do you right. This country is a test for us. It's a test for us. So we was there to build with him to start to get our people out. But now I see that it ain't gonna work like that. That I had to go through that to see that it's not gonna work like that. So Israel, I'm gonna let you finish your live. I'm gonna get off your live, so I'll let you finish. But I appreciate you, bro. I love you, and I love everybody on here. But don't judge and understand that we did that. We's doing it for everybody. We weren't just doing it for ourselves because we went out there because we was trying to create a nation outside of this stuff that we had going on over here. So peace and love, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Peace and love.
All
Peace.
right.
So yeah, so those are the things right there, and I'm glad that brother hopped on because he's someone that really saw things from a introspective level, and he peeped on things that I didn't peep on. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like 24 when I first joined or whatever, so I'm going through my own experiences and shit. Oh shit, look at this. I'll show y'all this. Y'all see this bird right here? I think that's called a crane or something like that. I don't even know. That shit crazy though. It's a big ass bird. But listen. So yeah, like the brother went through it. You know what I'm saying? He went through certain experiences. He knows a lot. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm glad that he got to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that he got to bring it out. You know what I'm saying? Speak his piece as me speaking my piece because I definitely went through what I went through here. And like I said, it's not to throw shade. It's not here to target. Really, what I'm doing is speaking on what I mean, the things that I went through, and really just let y'all know. You know what I'm saying? What it's about. And as I reflect, because today is day 8 of my fast, and I'm reflecting, I'm feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm water fasting, I'm feeling it, and my body is bringing up a lot of, like I said, when I was talking about your emotional body and how your emotional body is stored up traumas and stored up things that maybe you haven't dealt with. Your body will store that up. So when you fast and you start stretching, you start to do yoga. This is where it starts to bring all of that stuff up to the surface, and you need to vocalize it. And you need to get it out. You understand me? So that's exactly what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And that's what it is. Through all the bullshit that people want me to say this, want me to talk like this, want me to talk like that. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm really just, purging my mind and really just coming to my own, peace with, me. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming at my own peace with me. That's the reason why I'm getting on this live. That's the reason why I'm talking and being able to express is to be able to come to peace with my own mind. Because when you leave an environment and when you leave, something as far as what I was involved in, finding that peace and being able to make peace with things and the experiences that you went through, that right there, you know what I'm saying, that could be, that could be something. So, for me, that's what it was, finding peace, you know what I'm saying, finding peace, finding, just clarity, you know what I'm saying, clarity through my own experience, you know what I'm saying, and I'm just glad that I was able to share this with y'all, you know what I'm saying, about that. It says, absolutely, absolutely, K Tux. Yeah, man, it's evolving. You know what I'm saying? As I'm cleansing my mind out of this, I'm also like growing spiritually as well. So it's like a simultaneous thing. It's like as I'm purging and as I'm detoxing, I'm also evolving and leveling up. So moments like these, just being able to speak your mind, not holding your tongue, like give a fuck about what someone thinks, and you know what I'm saying, and being able to just speak. You know what I'm saying? Just speaking on your experiences, just speaking on your experience. That's so important. You know what I'm saying? That's so important to do. Someone asked me a question, am I still proclaiming the kingdom? I think that you are the kingdom. I think that your life and your experience is proclaimed, you know what I'm saying, through what you do. You feel what I'm saying? As far as you going on live and speaking or having to speak or talk or whatever, I don't think that you have to do it like that. You know what I'm saying? You proclaiming is just you living your life, man. you live your life and do what you feel like you want to do. You feel what I'm saying? And you know, you seek your own higher self, and you enter in your own kingdom when you start to you know, live the life that you want to live. You know what I'm saying? So you know, that's the answer to that question. You know what I'm saying? If y'all have questions, y'all can ask the questions or whatever. If not, I'm gonna be going through the questions that are on the that are in the comments right now. Um, was it frightening to leave, or were you ready and excited? Well, the way I left, it wasn't like I left on some, like, you know, I was already thinking about leaving, but the way I got left is I got voted out, basically, out of the tribe because I was not following the rules, basically. And because I wasn't following the rules and I wasn't doing, you know, the necessary things that I was supposed to do in the tribe, there was no reason to keep me there. You feel what I'm saying? So I didn't leave off like the oh yeah, nah, it was a vote, you know what I'm saying? But the vote was perfectly in alignment with my mind because I was already, you know, wanting to leave because it was just turning into a madhouse at the end of my experience. So yeah, I just, you know what I'm saying, it was just perfect. It was in alignment. It was perfect. And you know, it happened though exactly the way it needed to happen. You understand me? And that's what that was. You know what I'm saying? No, I would not have. I would definitely would not have. Master Naisha, badass. That's the thing about it is being there. Like I said, it was mental manipulation. There was nothing physical that ever happened to me. You feel what I'm saying? And granted, if there was ever anything that was physically that would have happened to me physically, that would have been a different story. You feel what I'm saying? But it was nothing that physical that happened to me. That's what you have to understand. It's a lot. It's a mental for the men. Now for the women, it's different. But for the men, it was a mental thing. You feel what I'm saying? I was never touched. I was never, you know what I'm saying? Like nothing actually happened to me. He didn't try coming up on me, like trying to beat me or nothing like that. Like there was none of that going on. It was just a mental game where it was just playing with your mind and playing with your thoughts, you know what I'm saying? And then reversing a lot of how you thought back on yourself, and then making you have to look at yourself for your own demonic ways or the way that you think. You feel what I'm saying? It's a mental game. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I say manipulation is mental. It wasn't physical. You feel what I'm saying? There was no physical nothing. You feel what I'm saying? And if it had been, it would have been different. Now, I can't speak for everyone because clearly there's things that are being said that happened in the tribe that I didn't even know about. And that's the thing about it. Like I said, when you're in an organization or you're in a group, there's, you know, people that you trust and the people that you don't trust. You know what I'm saying? For me, I was a wild card. I wasn't someone that was always trusted. You feel what I'm saying? Because of just the fact that I wasn't with, you know, a lot of the things, and he could sense that. You feel what I'm saying? You know, a lot of people could sense that. So, you know, via being that's what it was for me. You know, I wasn't looked at, or I wasn't trusted, you know, under the circumstances to be able to know certain things. So there's a lot of things that happened that I'm just finding out that happened that I didn't even know was what went on. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely would not have done that. I don't even swing that way. Um. Okay. So yeah, if y'all have any questions, you can ask the questions. Ask all these questions. If you guys got questions, ask questions. I know someone's asking a question right now. Um. Nah, Mama Dia, she was as far as I know, because I didn't know her medical history until it was like already, you know, too late. I didn't even know any of that. Like a lot of this stuff that she had, as far as her, I knew she took medication, right? And when I knew she took medication, she said it was for something that had to do with her heart health, and just had something to do with you know, something else. But she said it wasn't severe. You know what I'm saying? So as far as that goes, I didn't inquire anything more. I should have, but I didn't. You know what I'm saying? So I was not aware of certain things, you know what I'm saying, that were really going on as far as like the in-depth. And that's what it comes to when you know, it comes down to asking questions. Definitely should have asked questions, didn't ask questions. So, you know, that's the reality of that situation right there. But you know, Mama Dia didn't seem sick when she came to us. And you know, that's the reality of it, is that she didn't seem sick. You know what I'm saying? She didn't seem sick. And she said that, you know what I'm saying, like she didn't want to take the medication, and that she was, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't a severe thing. So, you know, on my end, I'm like, all right, cool. Like it wasn't anything, but, you know what I'm saying, I take it upon myself that I should have asked, you know what I'm saying, questions. We should have been more caring, and we should have asked more questions about that, because the fact that she had medication and she was an older woman. So, you know, that's something that, you know, I definitely take responsibility for me, as far as, you know, shouldn't having to ask questions. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, not everyone was involved in that when she first came, as far as, you know, the medication and wise, and just her not wanting to take it. You feel what I'm saying? So for me, I take responsibility for that. You know what I'm saying? And saying that I should have inquired more. Um, so that's a reality right there. Um, No, I never told her to stop taking her medication. I did inquire, though. I did inquire that there was natural remedies. I was always the type of person that was pushing for natural, holistic ways, because I come from like a Dr. Sebi route. So I was always like, yo, there's got to be some type of natural way that we can cure or heal whatever's going on. You know what I'm saying? So that's my get. Whenever people came with medication and whenever people came with this and that, I always tried to push for a natural way or an organic way of dealing with things. You feel what I'm saying? So that's how I push things. That's how I always advanced, was on some natural health. You know what I'm saying? That's me. You know what I'm saying? That's me all day. You know what I'm saying? Because how I am. For anyone that really knows me, y'all know how I am when it comes to herbs and medicine and stuff like that. That's what I teach. That's what I preach, and that's what I practice. Is natural herbs and remedies. You know what I'm saying? I think that we can solve everything without having to take pills and all that stuff. So that's what I teach. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the route that I pushed. You feel what I'm saying? Not knowing the severities of the situation just off rip, but I'm saying based off how what I'm saying, I came out the situation was like, all right, there's got to be some type of natural way. And she was already kind of in the herbs herself, like she was already kind of like dabbling into certain things. So she had her little pills or something like that, like little herb pills and whatnot. So yeah, she was already attacking her thing. How she thought she could attack it. You feel what I'm saying? So. Um, she was an older woman. She knew a lot. She knew what she wanted. She knew what she wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? I figured she had it under control. But figure, what I mean, wasn't deep enough. I should have asked more questions. Um, and as far as screenshots go, I don't know anything about that, so I can't speak on what I don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm just speaking on things that I do know about, because I'm not here to lie. I'm not here to say anything that is or that isn't true if I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Oh, who voted you out? Because it seems like to me you guys were all cool. Nah, it was just a vote. Like it just got time where I was towards the end of my experience, I was drinking a lot. I was being very very disrespectful to the organization, as far as just being in the organization, to the laws there and how you're supposed to be. I was very I was very disrespectful towards certain things. So yeah, that's all me, man. I wasn't carrying myself how I was supposed to be carrying myself. You feel what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? And that's in the tribe or outside of the tribe. It just wasn't good. You feel what I'm saying? So I got voted out. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's what that was. Mm. Yeah, bag checks. Yeah, we go through bags and stuff like that, and we just I mean, we check the bags. That's what we do. Do y'all feel women there treated poorly when they're getting losing your? Oh, for me, like that's the thing about it too. For me, it wasn't like that. Like what y'all saw with me and Aya, quote unquote, that I didn't like her. You know what I'm saying? I did not like her at all like that. She's not even my type. So when you saying when you seeing as far as me going back and forth with the woman, that was not there was no woman, not a woman there that I looked at that I really liked. Like a lot of the men there are really like those women. Like they really like them. You know what I'm saying? For me, it was never like that, and I was always in disagreements with that. That was for me. I was always in disagreements, going back and forth with the whole idea about getting with a woman, and being impaired up and shit like that. Because I'm like, man, I don't even feel like that. You know what I'm saying? If she like you, I don't like her. You know what I'm saying? If you like me, if you like him, but then you coming to me as if you like me, but you like him, I didn't fuck with that at all. You know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, nigga, like that's not me. You know what I'm saying? So I was always the one who was looked at like, oh, you're being defiant or whatever, because I had a problem with that. Excuse me, y'all, I'm detoxing. So I had a problem with that. You feel what I'm saying? So for me, yeah, nah, that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? That's not the case with me. You know what I'm saying? I never liked Aya like that. She knows that. Everyone knows that. That was even online stated that we never even liked each other like that. It was something that was quote unquote said that it was good for our spiritual growth. You know what I'm saying? And then when you look at our chart, you know what I'm saying? Astrologically, it was supposed to be aligned and all that shit. But the reality of the situation is we didn't like each other like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reality. You know what I'm saying, of my situation. You know what I'm saying? All the women that that I was with there, that's the reality. You know what I'm saying? So, um, nah, man. We were not a good match. That shit toxic. What you talking about? Um, like I said, a lot of the stuff that happened there was behind closed doors. It was not like I was like right in front. There was only like two occasions that I really saw things. You feel what I'm saying? And one of the occasions I was intoxicated and drunk. I was not handling myself, and I was in my own demons, so I was not handling myself. I was very intoxicated, very drunk. And then the other time it happened, and it was just like that was the time that she had talked about in the car. It was like me, Rambo, Flo, a bunch of people were in the car, and it just happened, and we were like, you know what I'm saying, minding our business, because it was like, all right, he handled his business or whatever. When you in a gang or when you in a tribe, you kind of treat it how you treat it. So, that, like I said, I own up to that. Definitely something that should have been said. Definitely felt some type of way about that situation, and definitely should have said something. Definitely should have done something in that moment, but I didn't. You know what I'm saying? And that's, like I said, just another example, of my shortcomings when it comes to dealing with being able to speak up, or even being able to do something. Not even speak. That's something that should have niggas. If niggas are hitting women, niggas should get hands laid on them. You know what I'm saying? For real. Like in my eyes, you feel what I'm saying? Because we should never be, and in all eyes, we shouldn't be hitting each other. There should be a lot of love. But the fact that there isn't love, the fact that we're out here fighting each other and hitting each other and stuff like that, that's not how it should be. You feel what I'm saying? So things definitely should have happened in that moment, but they didn't. You feel what I'm saying? And I could see that for myself, and I own up to that. You feel what I'm saying? I own up to all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Saw something, didn't do something. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the world we live in nowadays, where people rather pull out their camera recorders and film people getting beat, rather than getting up and doing something about it. Like, if you see someone getting beat by the cops, why are you recording them? Why don't you just go and stop? You know what I'm saying? Be a real revolutionary activist and actually go out there. You know what I'm saying? And beat the cop down or something like that, or push the cop off the person that's getting beat. You feel what I'm saying? But we live in an age, in a world where we just filming and recording this shit, and we ain't actually doing nothing about it. You feel what I'm saying? So that's something that I can own up to, that I say, yeah, you know what I'm saying, definitely should have done some shit. Okay, so I just described that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, there was only two occasions that I was in where. Hold on, just going on my phone real quick. There was only two occasions that had happened. That happened. Okay, so basically I got you. So I gotta get off live right now. But listen, I just wanted to let y'all share that little moment with y'all. I'm going to be going live again later to clear up some things and clarify, because I didn't want to make this the highlight of the live. But I did want to let y'all know that. But I have some more information I'm going to be sharing with y'all about my actual fast that I'm on right now. Oh, what's good? What's good? You want to be in the thing? All right, BP said it was good. She said it was good. You know what I'm saying? So, that's my family right there. She looking out. I appreciate it, for real, for real. You know what I mean? So, as you say, Rashad, BP, I'm just connected with old sources, old family, people that really are looking out for me. So I just want to let y'all know that, man. I'm going to hit y'all on the flip side. I'm going to let you know how this actual fast is going. But I had to get this live out there for y'all, because I had to pay my respects. And I definitely had to just get it out there. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to know the truth, the real, as far as my story and the things I went through. So maybe it will help y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all. Peace, love, and light to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Until next time.